Wall Street veteran Bernard Madoff has been arrested and charged with running a $50 billion Ponzi scheme.
Congress wants to know what caused the Enron meltdown.
Now, while the collective rage currently is focused on WorldCom,
Tyco CEO Dennis Kozlowski was convicted of looting hundreds of millions of dollars.
This is one of the biggest fraud cases ever.
Their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
Find out more on this week's episode of White Collars, Red Hands.
In 2022, it was estimated that there were 103,017 people in the United States who are considered professional musicians. Now, there are more real musicians, or I should say there's more musicians than that in the United States, but the large majority of those people will never reach stardom. Most of them will never be a household name or even be able to live off their wages as musicians. But what if your dream was so big that you'd do anything to achieve it? What if you tasted stardom for a brief, fleeting moment and wanted to hold on to the glory? Today, we look at two different musicians who committed fraud to make their dreams come true. Find out what happened on this week's episode of White Collars, Red Hands.
I played the trumpet in middle school.
Yeah.
Am I a musician?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
I tell my students who draw that they're artists.
Okay.
So we all lie to ourselves.
I'm putting that on the resume. I think I was second chair trumpet in 7th grade.
A real life trumpeteer here, everyone.
I am a musician. And then I learned to play the euphonium.
See,
so
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a big trumpet or a small tuba. It comes in two different shapes.
All right, you fucking nerd.
Yeah, it is the least sexy instrument you can play.
I've never even heard of it. What was it called?
The euphonium.
The euphonium.
It's also called a baritone.
Oh, that I know it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but do you know the instrument? Or do you just know that the baritone is like a range of singing?
No, I know it because my brother played the tuba. So.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a smaller tuba.
Yeah.
Or a bigger trumpet. Comes in two shapes.
Yeah. Well, we're actually not talking about trumpets or tubas at all today.
We can if you want. I mean, if you want this to be about that.
You know what? We're going to find a tuba scandal.
I'm a musician. Look at my resume. I have experience in trumpet and euphonium.
Welcome back to another episode of White Collars, Red Hands.
I'm Kashan.
And I'm Nina. And technically, I played the saxophone, so I would have been a musician as well.
God, we're 3/5 of the way to a really good brass band.
Were you in choir?
No, actually.
Really?
Funnily enough, not like in elementary school when they made you. And then after that, I was not in choir. No.
I was definitely in choir. I was usually an alto. I think one year I was a soprano too. And then one time we didn't have enough boys, so I was a tenor one.
Wow. You give off alto energy because you try too hard.
Wow.
Oh, get wrecked, bro.
That was so rude.
You know it's true.
Yeah, it is true. That's why it's so rude.
The baritones of the female singing world.
Without us, you would not have a harmony.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. What, you just want to listen to melody all day?
Is what most people are there for, yeah.
All right, anyways. What you all are actually here for is our episode today. Today, we're going to be talking about, like I said, two different musicians who committed some fraud. One you've definitely more than likely have heard of, and the other one you've never heard of, all right?
Sean Combs.
Sean Combs? No, it's not about Sean Combs.
All right, fine. We're not doing that
No
yet.
Diddy in this episode,
We're
you
not
guys. All right,
doing
no
that
Diddy. Not Sean Diddy Combs, but we are going to be talking about Sean Kingston. So the year is 2007, and you can't go anywhere without hearing the song Beautiful Girls wafting through every speaker that you pass. That song was playing constantly on the radio, in the grocery stores, in the mall, everywhere. Beautiful Girls was a hit. The song had 26,000 downloads the first week that it came out. Now remember, this is impressive because it was 2007.
Yeah, and most downloads weren't tracked because they were giving children viruses on LimeWire.
I was just saying because they were on LimeWire.
Yeah.
Yes. It was the second most downloaded song in 2007. The song Beating It was Rihanna's Umbrella.
Oh, wow.
What?
And now... I was just saying, Rihanna looked a little bit like Sean Kingston at the Super Bowl performance.
Sean is fat shaming women.
I'm sorry about that one.
You're fat shaming Rihanna. She was pregnant, bro.
Yeah,
you'll have her suicidal from that comment.
Sean Kingston looked a little pregnant. It's not that Rihanna looked fat. It's that Sean Kingston looked a little pregnant.
It's not that Rihanna's fat. It's just that Sean Kingston looks constantly pregnant.
Yeah, don't say anything negative here.
So this song made 17-year-old Kingston the first person born in the 90s to get a top 100 song. So, which is really crazy to think about because he was 17 when it came out.
Wow. Which is funny because he looked 35.
He did look old.
he looked like a grown-ass man.
17 going on 36. He did not look good for his age. Probably the weight. Kingston, whose real name is Keshawn Anderson.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Now you do. Was born in Miami, but he grew up in Kingston, Jamaica, and then came back to the United States. So that's where he gets Sean Kingston. His stage name.
Does he have the Jamaican accent?
I've never heard it, but I have not listened to an interview with him, actually. So Kingston was discovered on YouTube and was signed quickly to Sony Records. They appreciated his sound and knew that they could mold him to a more marketable artist. So they're like, hey, actually, you're shitty, but we'll make you great. Kingston did quite a lot over the years. Besides Beautiful Girls, he topped the charts with Eenie Meenie, which is a song that he sang with Justin Bieber. It's actually Keshawn's favorite Sean Kingston song.
No, we were talking about this before the episode. This song's awful.
He hates this song.
Awful.
After that song in 2010, he did some things here and there, but he never really had another big hit. There were a lot of rumors of albums or who was going to be on his upcoming albums, but nothing really stuck. One noteworthy thing he did as of late was he co-wrote Chris Brown's song Sensational in 2023, which I hate to admit is actually, I really like that song. I think it's a very good song.
Well, at least he chose to do his comeback with someone who's not controversial.
Right?
So that's really good for his brand image.
Well, Rihanna beat Sean Kingston in 2007 with the most downloaded song, Umbrella. So he was like, let me work with someone who's beat her. So...
Maybe Chris Brown just thought Sean Kingston was Rihanna from the Super Bowl halftime show. You never know.
That might have been it. Now, it's always kind of sad when you see someone skyrocket to fame and then that kind of fizzles out. But honestly, I didn't know about this until Keshawn brought it up. Apparently, Sean Kingston does have a sexual assault allegation against him. So that is probably what put a pretty big damper in his career. So Kingston, his career kind of went away. But for that brief moment of time, he did have a taste for the finer things in life. And unfortunately, that taste did not go away as his fame dwindled. Earlier this year, in May 2024, it was revealed that Kingston and his mother, Janice Turner, were up to no good. All the alleged crimes that happened are between October 2023 and March 2024.
So like hyper recently.
Yes, this is a very, very, very recent crime. Happened this year. In February 2024, Ver Entertainment filed a lawsuit against Kingston. They claimed that he did not pay for the items that he had purchased from them. Apparently, Kingston did not complete payments on a $150,000 entertainment system that he bought from the company, which included a 232-inch screen TV.
It's like a wall. What the hell?
Literally, my TV at home is 65 inches, and it's not small. What's yours?
65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a small TV.
That's a good size for a TV. It's pretty
You don't
big.
need a bigger TV than that. That's insane.
You don't need it, but come on. Imagine.
I can watch Rihanna on the Super Bowl halftime show. It can be the entire
And you
wall.
can see all of her on the screen if it's that big.
Yeah. None of the belly's getting cut out.
Rihanna's a beautiful woman. I was going to say,
I don't even hate Rihanna. Why is there so much Rihanna slander? So Kingston had convinced the company to accept a lower down payment on the entertainment system and then just never completed payments on it. In the suit, it also alleges that Kingston misled the company into thinking that he had an ongoing relationship with Justin Bieber and that the two of them would make promotional material for the company, which is why they allowed him to have a lower down payment in the first place.
He's like, no. When I say we have an ongoing relationship, I mean like he texts me like you up at 2 a.m. but it's not like serious. We're just like, it's ongoing, but
it's ongoing, but like,
but we're just
when it's convenient.
Yeah, we're just kind of we're still feeling it out.
Yeah, I know too much about that. Now this is kind of like on the company for not checking up on this because Kingston and Bieber haven't like produced a song together since 2010, which is the year they released Eeny Meeny. Ver Entertainment is an eeny meeny miny mo fact checker. All right, they're not checking their facts. Obviously, Justin Bieber has no involvement with this stupidity. He has enough on his plate and is so successful that he doesn't have to stoop to this. So he can buy whatever TV he wants. I bet his son Jack already has a 232-inch screen TV.
Justin Bieber has a son?
Yep, him and Hailey Bieber had a baby this year named Jack.
Oh my God.
A little baby.
I'm glad one of us around here reads like Us Magazine or whatever. What's one of the ones here they have?
People.
Sure.
E-News.
Sure.
I read them all.
One of us visits TMZ.
Okay, I don't watch TMZ, but
I meant their website. I don't know. They can put news out.
They do. According to the attorney Dennis Card, who has a civil case against Kingston, Card says, he tells a story. He's basically got a script. He says that he works with Justin Bieber and that he obviously puts on a big show here. This is a rental house. He doesn't own it. And he lures people into using his celebrity into having them release things without him paying for it. And then he simply never pays. Now, Ver Entertainment is not the only company to be scorned by the mother and son duo. It's said that they have fooled multiple businesses and have stolen items from a variety of places, including $86,000 from a luxury mattress store.
How many mattresses do you need, dude? What the hell?
It's like, I think it's one bed. It's one custom-made bed.
Jesus Christ.
For $86,000. My bed, I don't even know how much my bed was.
My bed was $300 on Amazon. It came in a box.
Good enough, right?
Best mattress I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Absolutely.
I need a new mattress. I cannot imagine spending that much money on a mattress. My best friend dated this guy once who spent $8,000 on a king-size mattress, and I thought that was absurd.
That's a lot of money.
So I can't even imagine God, that bed better be fantastic for $86,000.
This is such an old person conversation.
I know. I'm 32 now.
But I'll be damned if I don't want that fucking purple fucking mattress that's got all that like holds the egg or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I know it's like 20 grand and I want it though.
Sean Kingston has also stolen $159,000 from a Cadillac Escalade dealer and almost $500,000 from a jewelry store. Dennis Card is also quoted saying, Kingston likes having bling. He likes showing off. He's a showman. My client has a $150,000 television sound system that's in there, meaning his house, and also $1 million worth of watches in there. $80,000 custom bed that was ordered. This is an organized, systematic fraud. So not only did Kingston and his mother steal items, but they've also allegedly been stealing people's identities. Janice Turner used someone's identity to steal over $200,000 from Bank of America and over $100,000 from the First Republic Bank. She also wrote a bad check for $44,000 that directly benefited Kingston. Kingston also has an identity theft charge for defrauding the online banking platform Novo out of $5,000. Now, this is not the first time Kingston and his mom have gotten in trouble for fraud. The pair have a long history of schemes. Most of these are in the form of civil suits. So in 2015, the duo were sued by a custom watchmaker for $356,000 for an unpaid bill. What's crazy to me is that like they're getting all these like super high-end luxury things And like, obviously they're duping these people into like, oh, we'll pay later. Oh, we'll pay later. But like, his celebrity status isn't that high. So I don't know why they're letting him get away with this shit.
Beautiful Girls was just such a hit night.
It was the
second most downloaded song in 2007.
They're like, I heard the song and just, it made me suicidal when it was over.
You know, so just, maybe they're just in, you know, they remember going to middle school dances and just, it's nostalgia.
It is.
You know, so they're like, sure, Sean Kingston, you can get a great deal on these watches. You'll surely pay me back. You're a reputable person who definitely didn't commit that gang rape you were accused of.
He's just an eeny, meeny, miny, mo lover.
Here's your Rolexes, sir, Mr. Kingston. Who knows? I don't know.
They were also sued in 2018 by a New York jeweler for over $300,000 because they did not pay for 9 items that they ordered. And there are also claims that Kingston failed to pay Dreamwatch, which is a Malaysian company, for 2 items that he ordered, which were a Richard Mille model RM 65.01 automatic and a Patek Philippe caliber, which these are watches, actually, not guns.
Huh.
I Googled them because I was like, these can't be watches. These have to be guns.
I don't know. It might shock you, Nina. I know nothing about the luxury watch world. So
me neither.
Yeah.
I don't even have a watch.
I know Rolex. That's it. I couldn't name you another luxury watch maker.
Does an Apple Watch count as a luxury watch?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Timex, that one takes a licking, keeps on ticking. That was their famous tagline.
I've never even heard that.
Takes a licking, keeps on ticking.
One time my aunt bought me an M&M watch from Kmart, and that's the only watch I've ever had.
Huh.
And I don't even like M&Ms like that. So.
Well, it's no Patek Philippe Calibre, but yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I guess.
Unfortunately. Honestly, these names are so ridiculous. They like remind me of IPAs with their stupid names.
Yeah, like Hop Thunder, Skunky Wunky,
Juicy Squeeze.
Yeah.
Turn me over and flip me inside out.
Yeah. Bath water after too many bath bombs. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's actually pretty good.
I'll have to try it. Apparently, Kingston told the company that he would wire them funds for the watches, but the wire transfer never came. He told them that he couldn't send the funds because his account had been frozen. Of course, this is when the civil suit was filed. When the civil suit was filed, Kingston ignored it. The lawyers representing Dreamwatch also stated that the watches weren't the only thing that Kingston was on the hook for with the company. He also took out a small loan of $4,000 with them and told them that he would pay it back at the same time that he paid for the watches.
Wait,
why did they give him the loan? Yeah. And why are you getting a loan from the watch company?
Yeah, I will say this is the stupidest way to commit crime. It's just with your name completely openly and just like basically just not paying for things. Like obviously at some point, if you just ghost all of your debtors, it's gonna come back to you.
You're gonna get in trouble.
There's no tact. There's no nuance. No. You're just...
No, he's not even really trying to be sneaky. He's just doing this.
Just kicking the can down. Like obviously at some point, it's gonna catch up with you.
Yeah, you're gonna get caught. Dreamwatch agreed to the $4,000 loan, and they deposited the money into Kingston's crypto account. Kingston said that his mother would pay the loan, but the payments were never received.
Into his crypto? So they gave him a loan in cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
Okay, this is shady, actually. I don't even trust this watch place.
Well...
This had to be some sort of bribe or something that they are now calling a loan. Like,
yeah,
what is this?
Probably that's what it has to be. There's absolutely no way that this is has any red tape to it.
This random watch manufacturer is like, sure, we'll give this random citizen a $4,000 loan in the form of cryptocurrency to a crypto wallet.
Yeah, not sketchy at all.
That makes sense.
No, doesn't make sense. In 2020, TMZ reported that there was a warrant out for Kingston's arrest due to another unpaid jewelry bill. The police ended up not going after Kingston at the time, and it's more than likely due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So 2020 would have been a really good time to commit crimes. I should have been doing that instead of starting a podcast with you.
Well, podcasts are usually crimes, just in a different way.
That's true. A crime against, to your ears.
Yeah, a crime against humanity is what I was going to say. But
actually, yeah, you're right. We're looking at you, Joe Rogan.
Kind of just any podcast that's started by two random guys.
Yeah.
Most, like 99% of the time, it's like probably going to be a crime against humanity.
Yeah. Fair. However, Kingston did find himself on probation for trafficking in stolen However, Kingston did find himself on probation for a trafficking in stolen property charge. He committed the crime in 2020, but he wasn't sentenced to probation until October of 2023. Now, Kingston and his mother were able to outrun the authorities for some time, maybe his washed-up fame helped him with that, but it all came to an end on May 23rd, 2024. Sean Kingston was performing at Fort Irwin, which is an army based in the Mojave Desert that is in California.
I'm sure all of the people in the army there were like, "Yeah, we're getting a concert. It's Sean Kingston." Okay.
Wait a minute, is that pregnant Rihanna?
Yeah, they'd freak out over pregnant Rihanna.
They would love pregnant Rihanna.
But Sean Kingston is going to be a disappointment to them for sure.
Definitely will be. His mother was arrested on the same day in Florida at Kingston's mansion that he rented. Kingston's lawyer describes the raid of the mansion and the arrest of his mother to that of the Gestapo in Nazi Germany, saying that they were extremely forceful and aggressive. It was said that they even threw a dog over the fence in order to enter the property. Now, my dad always says if you can kick it over a fence, it's not a dog.
It's still a dog, Mr. Kern. I'm sorry to tell you.
So the SWAT team, they did call a SWAT team. The SWAT team raided the mansion and Turner was arrested. Kingston was shipped back to Florida, and the two of them remain in custody to this day. Kingston's bail is set at $100,000, and his mother's is set at $160,000. She tried to negotiate a lower bail, but it was denied.
She got a higher bail than Sean Kingston.
Yeah, which is funny. Kingston's attorney says that there was no criminal intent. I don't know how there wouldn't be criminal intent. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they knew it was wrong.
I guess they're just arguing that they just didn't have the money to pay it back.
I guess.
Which I guess is not.
But why are you getting $300,000 of watches if you can't pay it back?
I mean, fair. I don't know what the legality of that is. Like, if you can't pay something back, do you just go to jail? Like, if it's financed? No, they just repossess the stuff, right? You don't go to jail.
You don't go to jail.
So, I guess they're arguing that there's, like, fraud with the Justin Bieber thing where he, like, he lied to them to secure these like favorable financing deals.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
All right, fair enough.
In total, the mother-son team has scammed companies out of $1 million, which is a lot of money.
It's exactly $1 million worth of money.
Yep. Now, Sean Kingston is not the only musician to commit a financial crime. By a long shot. But today we're going to look at another musician who rocked the financial world with his crimes. I hope I'm going to say this guy's last name right, but Robert Mawhinney, better known as Rob Tall University.
What? Better known as? Who is this man? What do you mean better known as? Who the fuck is Rob? I don't know if I have to say it like that. Do I have to say Rob Tall University, or can I just say Rob Tall University? It's in all
caps and in all like big letter, like long letters. So you have to.
Wait, that's how he writes it. There's like 5 L's.
Yes, I counted. I got it from the Justice Department website.
Oh, I thought that this is what's on like the indictment. Is also alias is also known as Rob Tall. Well, and I guess it's only multiple L's. So for those of you who can't see it, I guess it would have to be Tall. There's more L. It's not tall. It's Tall.
Yeah. He was the frontman for a band that you've never heard of, Lights Over Paris.
Oh, Lights Over Paris.
Oh my God, Lights Over Paris. Yeah.
Oh my God. Their third album's a little played out, but the first two were bangers. Yeah, I know. I'm making it up.
So this guy had his own financial scandal. Lights Over Paris, or L.O.P, as fans call them, they were a pop punk band. I don't know what genre they would actually fall into. The band was struggling to take off. Even to this day, their name has obviously faded into oblivion. They have one single on Spotify that came out in 2011 called I'm Not a Gangsta, which has almost 94,000 streams. Actually, the song isn't horrible, but I probably won't listen to it again. Mawhinney knew that his band could be something great. And honestly, in 2011, it could have been really popular because you had bands like Red Shell Ray with their hit with Tonight Tonight.
Nina, that band is called Hot Shell Ray, not Red Shell Ray.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was Red Shell Ray.
No, it's Hot Shell Ray.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% positive because I think I still follow them on Facebook. I still get updates from them because
But if I type in Red Shell Ray, oh, it is Hot Shell Ray.
It is Hot Shell Ray.
I thought it was red.
For sure.
Okay, well, I'll go back.
I still see their posts on Facebook. It's sad. I'm like, I remember when you guys had that song and then that other song. And
what other song? I didn't even know about the other one.
They have, it's...
All I knew was Tonight Tonight.
They have Tonight Tonight. They have one more. And I can't remember it right now, but I'll immediately remember it after this episode's done.
Perfect. All right. Well, you had bands like Hot Shell Ray that were really popular with their hit like Tonight Tonight taking over the charts. So why couldn't Lights Over Paris do that too? Mawhinney formulated a plan that would skyrocket his band into stardom. He would just need to get a loan. Now, Robert Mawhinney didn't have much money. He had about $10,000 to his name. He didn't have enough to get the big loans that he needed, so he stretched the truth. Mawhinney went to four major banks. Co-America, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, and Zions Bank, and asked for millions of dollars in loans. Now, despite only having $10,000 in his bank accounts, he forged documents from Charles Schwab saying that he actually had over $7 million in his personal accounts, and that his personal net income was about $5 million. His personal assets were $7.5 million, which included a studio that did $12 million annually in sales.
Yeah, that's illegal, Mr. University.
That's a tall crime.
It's a tall tale.
It's a tall tale.
It's not real, sir.
No, it's fake. It's a lie.
Maybe he should have just went in and asked for loans and played them the music. If he really believed in it, right? He could have played them I'm Not a Gangsta and been like, this is worth millions of dollars. Give it to me.
Sharks, I come to you with this.
Presses play on the boombox.
I think Mark Cuban would go for it. He'd be like, I'm not a gangsta either. I'm in.
It's like, Jesus.
I'm in.
They play this song before every Dallas Mavericks game. This is crazy.
Does he own them?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Very famously.
Oh, but then, I don't know. And Magic, you know what? He went in there and he lied about all this money, but you know what? His plan worked. Mawhinney got his money. Now you're thinking, how could he get away with all this? Well, the banks actually did do some checking, and when they asked to see the studio that he claimed made $12 million a year, he took them on a tour because it was owned by his friends, not by him. Mawhinney was able to get a loan for $3 million from Co-America, $750,000 from Bank of America, $500,000 from Zions Bank, and $2.4 million from Chase.
Ooh, dang, Chase really dished out.
They really did. Between the years of 2008 to 2011, he was loaned $11 million.
This is why we know so much about Lights Over Paris, because he took all that money.
We know.
And he funneled into a great startup for his bands.
He did. He really did.
I'm sure that's how it went.
So it is said that after the original loans, the banks kept contacting him to see if he wanted to borrow more money. When the banks were questioned about it, they declined to comment. Now, he did do exactly what he said he was going to do with the money. He used it to help the band try to reach stardom, but it fell before they reached orbit. Mawhinney spent the money on promotional materials, music videos, plane tickets. The band's first music video cost over $100,000. Now, there were some very unnecessary expenses as well, such as the rental of a luxury LA apartment and a $750,000 tour bus that had platinum tiles in the bathroom.
They're easy to clean, Nina. I think you're misunderstanding. It's just
sorry.
They don't build up mold. It's worth.
Oh, well, you know what? Then that does make a lot more sense.
Yeah. It's only $750,000. I mean, drop in the bucket, right?
Really, compared to 11 million? I mean,
you know, when your lights over Paris, you can do what you want.
I mean, that
when you have 94,000 Spotify streams, you can do what you want.
You can do whatever the fuck you want. But this bus was insane. It had retractable awnings, a master suite, and they built it to look like an airplane. It was honestly very ugly. I looked at the pictures. It was blue and a really ugly purple, like that Crown Royal purple. It was not good.
Do you want a private jet but don't have nearly enough money to make one? Don't worry, we'll put wheels on one and drive it around the highways in the U.S.
It said
what a
L.O.P.
stupid idea.
really big on it. It was really ugly.
What a stupid idea.
When people would ask Mawhinney about his money, he would tell them that he inherited his money from his grandfather. Brian King, a videographer for the band, recalls, it was crazy. There was a lot of shopping, there was a lot of booze, a lot of champagne, and a hotel suite that ended up getting trashed at the end of the trip. And they had truly wild parties. He's still quoted saying, "I have no idea where all the women came from." He'd get a woman to sit in the middle of a buffet table and hand people sushi off of her body. That's not objectifying her at all. Mawhinney's kept spending more and more money, and his lawyer says that he got into a situation that was beyond his control. His lie had gotten too out of hand, and he didn't know how to stop it. Mawhinney started defaulting on his loans because obviously he had no way to pay for the money that he had loaned out. And the law was after him. On October 11th, 2011, Lights Over Paris was supposed to play at the Roxy in LA. Mawhinney never showed up, and he sent a DJ in his place. About halfway through the show, the DJ was served papers intended for Mawhinney because he was super far behind on his rent, and it would take another year for it all to come catching back up with him. The lights over Paris began to dim when Mawhinney was arrested in Miami. I had some conflicting information about what he was doing in Miami. Some said that he was on vacation. Others said that he was arrested at the airport when coming back from Buenos Aires.
Yeah. I think he was at a sushi restaurant and he got arrested for taking all of his clothes off.
Oh, that was probably what it was.
They were like, "Excuse me, sir."
It was the tuna rolls, honestly.
Yeah.
He was being held without bond because they determined that he was a flight risk because of his frequent travels abroad. He was also sending a lot of money over to Cyprus for God knows why. Now, what he does next is truly baffling. He gets arrested, pleads guilty in Orange County, California, and then the very next day he goes to a credit union and asks to borrow money one more time.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right. Ayo. Mawhinney pled guilty to 4 counts of making false statements and ended up serving 7 years at the Federal Correctional Institution in El Paso, Texas. It is said that during his time in prison, he practiced his guitar, did yoga, and learned Spanish.
Oh my God, he's going to pull a Drake Bell. He's going to be Drake Campagna. What's Spanish for Mawhinney?
Did Drake Bell go to jail and do all those things?
So Drake Bell was accused and did plead guilty to...
Yeah, the assault.
Yeah, well, sexual misconduct that included a minor or something.
Yeah.
Like it got
she was 15.
It got downgraded. It was just texts. But yeah, he learned Spanish, started writing music in Spanish, and he is a very popular pop artist in Mexico currently.
That's crazy.
And he goes by the name Drake Campagna. Campagna is Spanish for bell. I went to a deep dive recently. I went onto YouTube. I was looking up his songs, and I wanted to know how good his Spanish was. So I watched interviews with him where he would have to speak Spanish, and you can tell that he's not great, but I mean, they're all right, I guess. It's really weird seeing him because you're like, this is the guy from Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
And he is singing in Spanish.
That's funny.
And he's very white, obviously.
Yeah, so white. Wow, what a tragic life.
So that's going to be Mawinny.
That's Mawinny.
He's going to be the next Spanish pop star.
That's
you watch
him.
out.
Well, he's already out of jail, but here we are. Damn all these beautiful girls. They'll never see the lights over Paris. Sean Kingston may not see the light, and Sean Kingston may not see the light of day in a very, very long time. Sean Kingston's taste for the finer things led him to a life of crime, and Rob Mawinny's lust for fame led him to his. Both men committed these crimes for their own selfish gains. They'll no longer be topping the charts, only topping in prison. Ayo.
What? You think they're topping that? That's really cute.
Sean Kingston's totally not topping.
No one's topping him though, because he looks like he looked 35 at 17. He's got to look fucking 6 years old now.
He doesn't look good.
I'm sure he doesn't.
He and his mom don't look that much different in age. She's 61 and he's 34.
I don't know what Rob Mawinny looks like, so
not attractive. But he had that pop punk thing going for him, so. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And if you liked what you heard and you want more, you can check us out on social media. We are on Facebook.com/WhiteCollarsRedHands. We're on X at WhiteCollarsPod. We are on Instagram at WhiteCollars_RedHands. We're on TikTok at WhiteCollarsRedHands. And we are on YouTube at WhiteCollarsRedHands. If you want another way to support us for free, we would love it if you left a review. Of course, we love a 5-star review, but an honest review works as well. You can do that on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Another free way you can support us is by telling a friend. Word of mouth is a great way to get information out, and you could tell your friends to listen. Thank you so much. That's what we want for Christmas. If you want an unfree way to support us, you can do so by going to our website, clicking on that merch tab. It'll take you on over to TeePublic. It is the Christmas season, or the holiday season, I should say. And you can buy 8 different gifts for every night of Hanukkah for someone you love. What?
Has Hanukkah started?
Not yet, but you can.
Okay.
Prep. You don't think they prep?
No, I was saying that we might already be in it. So I was like, well, don't recommend it now if they're halfway through. If 4 of the candles are lit.
There's 4 more days.
Then to buying merch, you cannot commit, you know?
I guess that's true. All right. And if you hear of a white collar crime story and you were like, oh my gosh, 99 and Sean should totally cover that, please send it our way. You can do that by DMing our socials, emailing us at whitecollarsredhands.com. We try to do a fan submitted episode every single season, and yours could be next. And I think that's it.
Did you say recommend to a friend?
Yes.
Sorry, I zoned out there for a little bit.
Well, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on another episode of White Collars, Red Hands.